I went back at the gym this morning. I fell out with Neil about it.
What doing? Was it his fault?
I fell out with Neil remotely because...
Remotely? Did he know or was he not?
So
having a virtual argument right now.
You got it in my brain that I'd be able to lift something, a particular weight.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, no, I can't do that. I'll do the small bar.
So like
big
deadlift
bar,
or...
Deadlift.
Yeah.
Big bar, 20k each side. So I think it was 60k. And I was like, I can't do that. Can I? And it got into my head. And he's like, you can. And I was like, no, I'm going to do smaller bar and I'm going to do 20 each side. And then I think the small bar's 15 and da-da-da. And then I was like, this morning, I set the bar up to do it. And I did it. And I hurt my back. So I literally messaged him. I was like, I'm so angry at you.
It's your fault.
You got into my head. He was like, so you didn't start small and build up? I was like, no. Because
you didn't say that.
No.
Welcome to The Vault with Financielle. This is a safe space where we talk all things life and money and no topics are off limits. Happy Thursday, everybody.
Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday.
I love vault days.
Vault days are good.
They're the best. I get an influx of messages on a vault day and I forget what we've said. So they're like, oh, I've just seen you talking about this. I'm like, oh yeah, we did talk about that. And do you know what? That was really helpful for blah, blah, blah.
I watch it back while I'm doing my makeup and nod along.
I do. I was laughing my head off this morning. It's really embarrassing.
Point, Laura. That's exactly what I was thinking.
She knows what she's talking about. I did the same thing this morning. I was doing my hair and my makeup and I'm giggling to myself. It's not healthy.
I like how excited people get when Lydia talks because she's like the Stig off Top Gear, like no one knows.
Just faceless. Are we going to do a Christmas unveil?
Definitely.
Unveil, like a reveal. Unveil.
She's sat in a veil. None of you know. Wizard of Oz.
Behind the curtain. You are a little bit behind the curtain.
And you are the boss.
But she is in a chair of power and I sat in it earlier for a little bit and it just feels powerful. She feels like a Hollywood director. She's got a really important chair, a kind of full fat Coke and an iPad and a pen and she's ready to take on the world. In fact, she looks like we could be auditioning and she'd be like, next.
Cut.
You're through to the house.
I think we've seen enough.
Yeah. It's giving vibes.
Is it Simon Cowell who goes the hand of God like?
Yeah.
No, I get the gold buzzer. It's a no from me.
Okay, I've got a controversial opinion. Wellness is for the elite.
I feel like this is my bag and I'm going to jump straight in because I want to be a reformer Pilates hun. It's really expensive. I do want to give it a go, but I saw a TikTok that I sent to Lucy the other day and it was a lady talking to camera about Run Talk, and Run Talk's been really popular over the past, I would say, couple of years. It started to pick up a lot more. Lucy was probably getting serviced Run Talk because she's recently run a half marathon. She did amazingly well.
Oh no, I've not run a marathon and I've been served it up as well. So
I think everyone has.
Yeah,
you can't get
like
away from it. This trend of like running, but not just like, oh, I'm just going out for a casual run. It's like, I'm doing a half marathon, or I bought these new Hoka shoes. I bought this running vest. I bought these supplements.
Lucy's like,
Is that you? Are we ticking off all these trends? Sorry, we're talking about Lucy here. But a lady was talking to camera about why it has suddenly wellness and fitness and exercise and anything good for your well-being. Why is it suddenly turned elitist? Like, why do we have to buy like the best things, and why the influencers all jumping on and brands jumping on? What happens just going for a run because it was good for your health, grabbing a pair of trainers and just going out the door? You don't need a smartwatch. You don't need the supplements. You don't need the gear. Just go
you
and
don't
do
need
it.
to take a long arm selfie of doing the run 4 mile,
Yeah.
6 mile.
It's when they're like, easy mile 17.
I like the comments where it goes, this is the same mile. Like you just recorded.
I can see the same place.
You're in the same, yeah. And they're like, it's a long road in California.
I'm doing loops.
But people did used to just go for a run. Like dads would throw on t-shirt and gym shorts and high socks and dad shoes and go for a run. And it's just because of consumerism, isn't it? It's another excuse to sell stuff. A lot of the fitness influencers get gifted thousands of pounds worth of stuff, and that, you know, we want to fit in. It's just so natural to want to look like. It's like in Pilates, and maybe does everyone wear Tala or Adenola? You know, would you go? Oh, this is a question, Holly. What would you wear to reform a Pilates?
I'd have to buy a new outfit.
Yeah, you would. You would
Slick
not
back bun, fresh fake tan.
Yeah, there's a
know.
look, and you couldn't just throw on your bottom of the pile gym stuff that doesn't
Adidas
match.
shorts, and you look like you Like a boy in PE. That's what I look like.
Or you just woke up in your boyfriend's pajamas. I go to our gym when I'm in a session on my own, because you can book like a private room with a hole in the leggings. Like, I give no S. But yes, if I was to go to a really aesthetic reformer Pilates class and then I'd have to stop on the way home for a nice matcha.
Our friend said she'd be scared. She doesn't want to go because she's scared of what people think, and she looks amazing.
She looks
Don't
amazing.
say name, but you know.
She also didn't say that. She was worried about
What did she say?
something else if she was moving and air and gas and whatnot. I'm not going to out her, but she knows who I'm talking about.
But it is, yeah.
They were talking about
if you don't take a picture, did it not happen?
Yeah, I was
Definitely
another
not.
Pilates one. I think I sent it to you again because I'm like, listen, look at this content. Someone was like, where are my Pilates girls at? And this woman was like, we're all at home on YouTube, like doing free sessions. Why are you paying? Like laughing at this person who was being a bit elitist about reformer. Like, why am I not seeing, my crew there? The woman's like, because we're all at home doing it for free on YouTube, idiot.
Move with Nicole.
What's that?
Move with Nicole.
Yes.
She's the best Pilates yoga girl.
Free.
On YouTube, free.
Yeah.
It's a hard one when sometimes a nice gym outfit, a nice new class, a nice gym is the thing that really incentivizes you to go. And lots of us could just whack on some trainers and a random outfit and try and do the couch to 5K. But nowadays it's harder and harder to just pick up and do that. It's like we're so conditioned to that's what running looks like now, and it must it's really hard.
I feel it is a big worry from a health perspective how many people just don't do it because of that, and we are cutting out, I feel like, a large proportion of the population that now think exercise isn't for me. And that's just completely wrong.
And even eating, I was like, when I went to, our friends have got a beautiful place in France called Manoir Mouret, and they do a lot of wellness retreats. And I asked Margaret, I said, are you going to get like ice baths and stuff? And she was like, no. She said, we're all about accessible wellness. And if we start to show that you need a private chef, or that you need if you need a particular type of ice bath, you can't just have a cold shower, and go through like cool therapy, and you need an LED mask, and you need this and you need this, then it ostracizes people to, when we think about longevity at any age and of any, financial means, it's not as sexy sometimes and not great social content to show like cheap wellness or accessible wellness, but I'd like to follow that.
I think I've put something on LinkedIn the other day about eating well has become, people just, there was a lot, it was when Jamie Oliver was doing the school meals thing. I don't know if you remember that movement, and they were, the schools kept saying, it's just so much cheaper for kids to eat like frozen chicken nuggets and turkey Twizzlers and turkey dinosaurs and all the horrific food that got fed to us back in the day. I go around a supermarket and frozen veg is really accessible, and some meats are really accessible. You can switch out no meat days. People do no meat Monday and whatnot. Like, you don't have to buy organic. You don't have to buy the top of the range everything. And I think people kind of make excuses because it's just too expensive, instead of just hacking the way through, of which you absolutely can do. So yeah.
I was watching a TikTok. I've saved it. I won't play it, but did I not save it? I've not sent it to someone. So is it Erewhon or
Erewhon?
Erewhon.
Oh my God, I want to go.
So it's this like super healthy store.
It's like Whole Foods on steroids.
Exactly. And there's this girl who takes her New York dad around it, and she keeps holding things up and saying, how much do you think this is? And it's like pineapple cubed and put in a plastic box, and it's like $30. He's going, what? The guy in the corner will chop one for you, and how much would you about these, and what? And then her boyfriend as well guessing, and they think they're guessing high, and there's another $15 on the top of their guesses, and he cannot comprehend that this aesthetically cut, rainbow coloured, but essentially fruit and veg.
That's what it is.
Is but I do want to go and shop.
Yeah.
I just don't like
smoothie.
I'll do it for you. Pay me. I'll
could you pay it? Like, because it looks so cool. It does. But
you would. But for the gram,
if I was
for
there,
the stories.
I mean, if I'd made all my way to LA,
we'd be egging around for the stories. Let's be honest. We'd be fuming if you didn't go in and buy a smoothie for $50.
I'm going to London this weekend, and like every time I go, we have a planned Whole Foods picnic.
Is it expensive?
Yeah, it's like you pay like £10 for like 3 cookies. but they look really cute and like,
See?
and they're all like healthy and
They look so cute.
so good. And the guacamole for like £10.
Smash up an avocado.
It's just so good. It's not the same. It's not the same.
Yeah.
I think the thing with wellness is for the elite, it's one, time and money. Like we're looking at a lot of these influencers who it's their job. A lot of fitness influencers.
Yes.
It's their job to do that. And they're doing like, oh yeah, I'm going to do a brick workout today. I'm going to do like a 10K run and then a 30K cycle. And I'm like, wherever you've got time for that.
Yeah.
The normal person consuming your content does not have time for that.
She squeezes it in before work if she can. She's running around with kids or not kids, trying to get them to school. She's trying to get to work on time. She's trying to remember a laptop. She doesn't feel really well that day.
She's going to commute an hour on the train. No one's got time to do this.
Or is they running around with a tripod like, oh, let me just get back in bed and pretend I'm waking up again. Like, it's so not real life. It's very, very hard to not think I should be like that and I should have that. But yeah, when you've got you can afford meal prep, or you can, if all you have to do that day is go to the nice shop and then cook yourself that nice meal and then eat that nice meal.
And then edit the video of you making that nice meal.
Yeah, I'm running around doing a meal prep at 9 p.m. at night so that I can, live the rest of my life.
Wellness is not for the elite. Not.
Okay, time for dilemma number 1. Should I use my savings to clear my debt? Hi ladies, I'd just like to say that I love the podcast and listen every week. I have a slight conundrum that I thought you'd be the perfect people to help with. So thanks to Financielle, I've been able to save a lot more than I usually would have recently. I have nearly £10,000 saved up and it's now sitting in a high interest bank account. But I also have £4,000 credit card debt, which I've also been chipping away at. It's interest free for now, so I'm not too bothered about it, but it runs out at the end of the year. What do you think? Should I use my savings to clear my debt, or is it better to keep my savings intact? I'm nervous about seeing the number go down.
I can imagine this is a perfect example of how your personal situation is really important here, because cash and emergency savings, and well done that it's in a high interest rate savings account, because so many of you do not have it in one. I challenge you, have a look what your current account pays, have a look what your savings account pays, because it will not be paying, if it's in a default one or you've not thought it through, you could be missing out on your money making free money. So that's really good. It depends on your living situation. Like what we tend to say is, if you want to get rid of your debt, it's really important to have an emergency fund first, because that's your backstop for if you have an emergency and you don't want to go back into the credit card, you don't want to add to it, you'll budget wrong, because we always do when we first start off. So a mini emergency fund's a really good idea. And we tend to suggest at least 1 month's expenses. And so depending on what that is for you, once you've got 1 month, usually that should help most immediate emergencies. And if any other emergencies come up during that time, you can pause overpaying debt. So like some people criticize that 1 month expenses thing, but it's because you need to start somewhere. And if all you do is build up savings, we want you to get rid of that debt and get that in your mindset that I'm going to be debt free. This is going to be out of my life. I'm not going to use finance. So I think that's the one side of it to know. Look at that 1 month's expenses. If you are solely responsible for all the bills in the house, if you're a single parent, all these different things do tip the balance where you may prefer to have more savings. If it's more of a nervousness though, if you're in quite a stable job and you've got quite a stable income and you may have other people contributing financially to the household, I feel like you need to be probably a bit brave about the fact that you've not really got £10,000 saved. What was the debt? Was it 4 or 6?
4,000.
4. So you've actually really got 6, really, because they net each other off. When we do the net worth in the app, it nets off the liabilities and assets. And so if that's the case, that actually it's just a bit of a safety net and too much of one, and really you could immediately be debt free today rather than just chip in. You will then be so incentivized to build that back up again. You'll be stressed that you've only got I've done it again. How many?
6 left.
6 left. I'm like, which
That's
one?
right.
4
If she pays, you've only got 6. Off the 4.
And you
6
want to get
is
back.
not to be sniffed at as well.
No, it's not like we're not stripping everything back.
No.
And so I would suggest being aggressive with it. And have you been there before?
Yeah, where I've been I was toying. This was when we were, I think you'd maybe written the playbook and we had a little bit of credit card debt and we had savings, and Laura was like, you could use the savings to pay off the debt. And I was like, Then I won't have any savings. She was like, have you got like an emergency fund? So if anything goes wrong, you don't add to debt more. And I was like, yes. And she was like, I promise you, you pay down that debt with those savings, your savings will just rocket once those debt payments are gone, because everything's going towards stuff that's growing rather than stuff that's gone before. And it's just such a big mindset shift. And it's probably one of the most popular comments that we get in our community. Guys, I've got this much debt and this much in savings. Do you think I should pay off my debt with my savings? And and everyone jumps on to answer, and they're like, honestly, do it. Because
the ones that have done it,
they're like, do it now. Why didn't you do it 6 months ago? You could have felt this amazing. Like,
but they probably asked the same question previously.
Because it just feels so wrong, doesn't it? I've got debt to pay, but you've got a savings goal. It's like, get rid of one. Our big thing is just simplifying it. Do one thing at once, but do it really well.
Lydia, how does that make you feel when someone asks that question? What do you think?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
This is like school. The savings versus debt. So she's got 10 grand's worth of savings and she's got 4 grand debt.
I think as long as you've got an emergency fund, it makes way more sense, because you're going to have a complete, like, that's a huge stress gone, isn't it? Even if you don't have that much savings.
Yeah.
Because it, like you said, 6 is still a lot. I think that when savings, because I know savings are really important to you, and like, you know, you run the house on your own, you've got to make sure that you can look after yourself. And so lots of people may be tempted to keep the debt there just so that they can see the number grow in the savings. But
it's like false economy, isn't
when you
it?
work out the net worth, though, it's still the same.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's just putting it in a different place.
Yeah. You're like kidding yourself a little bit. You're like,
I think so. I think once you've got that little emergency fund in a place that genuinely covers what you think it needs to cover, lean into the debt, and then, oh my God, you'll be so excited to jump back into the emergency fund and build it and get back to that 10.
Yeah, no brainer for me.
I like that. Create some urgency.
Yeah.
Speaking of net worth, I've got a really good community win this week. I can't believe this, but after 1 month of being in the Financielle community, my net worth has increased by almost £900.
Oh my God, that's cool.
I thought that this app was going to be good, but I didn't realise it was going to be that good. And what's weirder is that it was a challenge, but it didn't feel impossible. And I wasn't as daunted as it first felt being in Financielle.
I know who this is. She won't mind me saying, because she was one to watch. And if you've seen the Vault newsletter the past week, I think it was, we did a ones to watch, and Hannah is absolutely one to watch. She is absolutely smashing it.
Hannah.
Yeah.
First month.
First month.
But it's got to feel a bit hard. Like she said, it was tougher than I thought. And it's like, because you've got to sweat a bit. You've got to work at this stuff.
Yeah, she's one to watch.
Incredible.
And there you go. Proof's in the pudding.
Come back to us, Hannah, in like another 6 months and imagine what that could look like. That net worth graph's going to look so pretty.
She's going to do big things.
If you'd like to tell us your win, head to the community in the app or email us at thevault@financielle.com. Time for my new favourite segment. Who am I going to pick on this
Please
week?
don't make eye contact
Is this one
with
of those
her.
ones where you know you're not going to be picked on twice, 2 weeks in a row, or is she going to do me again?
I'm going to keep you on your toes, so maybe... Lydia.
I'm going to cry.
I want this, is it on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? And it's and I want a spotlight overhead.
So we would really love you if you reviewed our podcast. 5 stars again is preferable, but be honest. I said that as David Beckham. Be honest. Lydia.
I'm going to give it 5 stars.
Good.
Okay. Let me try and write this formally.
Dia says.
You can say it in like 3 words if you want.
I thought you were going to say an accent.
3 words and an accent.
Okay, well, I can't do 3 words, but I like that you are passively learning about personal finance without realising it, because you're just enjoying yourself. I am just sitting here accidentally learning about pensions and things I have no interest in. So I'm grateful that this podcast makes scary things less overwhelming.
Oh, I think
Nice.
that's 10 out of 10.
That's incredible. I would review your review 5 stars.
Thank you.
Okay, time for dilemma number 2. My parents give my brother more financial support than me. That's crazy.
I'm annoyed already. Right.
We're siblings, so this is funny.
She doesn't know how much help I've had.
Oh yeah, I'm like, you're the shocked one. I get loads of help.
Hi girls, I'm struggling with something that's been bothering me for a long time. My parents have always been supportive, but recently I've noticed a significant difference in the financial help they give me compared to my brother. For context, I'm 37 and my brother is 29, so there's a big age gap between us. My brother seems to receive a lot more financial support from our parents than I did at his age. For instance, when he needed a car, they bought him a brand new one without a second thought. On the other hand, when I needed a car to get to work and university, they gave me a small loan with interest.
You say they gave me a scooter.
An electric scooter.
A bus pass.
I would take that. Which I made it my mission to pay off. They've also helped him with his living expenses, while I've had to work multiple jobs to cover mine. It's also worth noting that I lived at home during my time at university and I had to pay rent to my parents. When my brother did the same, they didn't charge him anything. I really get along with my family, but I can't help but feel frustrated and a bit hurt by what I perceive as favouritism. I've always been responsible and independent, but it seems like my hard work is being overlooked and undervalued. When I try to bring this up to my parents, they assure me that they love us both equally and that the financial help they provide my brother is necessary because he's still finding his feet. Yet I feel their actions is sending a different message. This situation is causing a bit of tension in our family and I'm starting to avoid spending time with them as it really annoys me. I don't want to seem ungrateful or jealous, but also I can't ignore how unfair it feels. Is there any point in making a deal out of this? And if yes, what on earth do I say?
This is a really good one. And one thing I would say, and she doesn't hint at it, but their financial situation could be very different. It's 10 years difference between them. 10 years ago,
parents,
they could have been in a very different, it doesn't sound like it because it sounds like she's kind of addressed it and they've said he's trying to find his feet, but at the same time, they could be in a very different financial situation. So we have to consider that. Another thing is a safe space.
50-year-old and still finding his feet.
It is a safe space, and this is, I'm conscious that I don't want to go there, but I'm going to. I feel like the baby boy of the family gets looked after. Like I feel like there's I feel like more the boy, like the mums with the boys. I'm a boy mum. I feel like I'm tough boy mum.
But you only got 2 boys, so you've not got girls. So.
No, as in like I feel like from if history like tells us anything, it's like that the young like Nepo baby style like boys always struggle and the mum always wants to like mollycoddle and he's just finding his feet, like finding excuses. Is there something there?
Is he not the younger sibling or is it?
I don't know because I don't feel like I got
triggered.
You fell for it.
Here we go. I don't feel like we were treated any differently.
Not by like it's like very easy. No, I don't think we were. And but I think again you said that like we were a similar age, similar. I think if you're very similar on a personal level, on like a relationship level, you know, like I think I've got so much to say on this. So Jesus Christ, let's just like rein it in a bit. One thing is, imagine someone has a health issue. Like they need extra care and support because of maybe a physical disability that's much more physical, like obvious. And so it could be you can't drive a normal car and you need an adapted car, or there could be things that if they're not the same, you don't just treat people exactly the same just because you have to be exactly the same. A penny here, a penny there. Like, yeah. I mean, our bloody mother does it at Christmas. She's like, oh, that kid has had 20p more on it than that kid. So I've bought that one £4 of a thing, but then I need to even it up. And then it's like, and I get it because she's so conscious that you don't want someone to feel more in favour or not. But also there's people are different. People need more help. Like someone could want to study at a particular university to do a particular course that costs more money. I want to be a doctor. I want to do a 3-year marketing degree. They're very, very different decisions. And so I think there's that element to it, which is we're all different. So it's not just because you had this that he should have to have this. The other side to it, and because it's a really good question where she asks like, what should I do about it? And you have already asked about it. And I think you're going to be happier if you work on you rather than them. And we've got this in our life in different ways where things will just annoy you. Life isn't fair. And if you focus in on what's not fair, it will eat you up. And it's not eating them up, they're cracking on. And listen, it doesn't sound like they're being overly cruel and favoritism. You could be building that up a little bit. And I'm trying to be really polite here because I've been there, so I don't want, not the same situation in terms of siblings, but where you think, well, that's just not fair, especially if you're like, oh, Holly's all about the justice. She hates injustice. And so
don't sleep at night.
So it annoys her. But
I think you're right. She can only control her reaction to this situation, and she's never going to turn them around. What she want to do, go back 10 years and be like, so I want all the money that he's had instead of me. You're going to gift it to me. Also, I would take it as a compliment. It sounds like you had your shit together at that age, and they obviously saw that you had your shit together.
And
like,
you still
it's
obviously
not,
do.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing that you are so capable.
I was going to say, I know it's probably make you like roll your eyes, but I think being grateful for like, that's how they've raised you.
Yes.
I'm sure your brother, the thought of like them moving out, having to buy his own car, all of that stuff might seem really overwhelming, but to you, that was just like a natural next step. Yeah. This is what you've got to do to get there. Mm-hmm. And that's like arguably a better position to be in.
Yeah. People change over 10 years as well. Their family may have been like a little bit strict back in the day. And I think when you do have another child, everything relaxes a little bit more. Like Laura fought to get her belly button pierced.
And I did the equivalent of a Canva presentation.
She did PowerPoint back in the day. There's probably something before that. It was printed. We've still got it at home.
My mum's got it.
It was like
she's really proud.
Sorry, a full dissertation on why she should have a belly button pierced.
Law dissertation. They were cutting those pictures of Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera.
Why that was an argument for you to have it done, I have no idea.
Role models.
Britney had it done.
And we did athletics at the time when you wore crop tops and all the girls. That's what it was. So it was like I wanted my belly button pierced, but like, I mean, God, no, it's just a stupid hole. Why did you let me do it, Mother?
I'm actually really angry at Laura or my mum that this dissertation got passed because she in fact did have her belly button pierced.
Granted.
But then literally the day I just was like, can I have it done? My mum was like, yeah, right then. She was like, I fought for 4 years
for the vote to get
for the belly button. Holly could run.
Just riding in the slipstream. Like.
Yeah, literally. And I hate it. It is a literal hole in my body that I do not want to have, and it's your fault.
I've not tried, but I might buy one.
Oh my God.
Do it. Only for then millennials
We're going
to
holiday
introduce
soon.
the high rise, high waisted.
Never to be seen again.
But though, and I think ears pierced was the same. Laura was desperate to get her ears pierced, and Mum was like, "No, you can't." And then literally like the year after, I was like, "So I'm thinking about getting my ears pierced." Mum's like, "Yeah, sure." Laura's like, "God damn you!"
I got a nice, beautiful silver Peugeot 206. She got a Volkswagen Beetle convertible, brand new,
red. Stunning.
So hang on, this is about us, and this does happen.
Driving with the top down.
Top down at 18.
So,
Nepo baby.
There probably is a thing with second siblings whereby the parents have gone through the pain, the worry, the protectiveness of the first one, and they're like, oh, it wasn't that bad after all.
But then I could sit there and think, and I don't think. But
so angry, I got your belly button pierced.
But you could sit and think she got a nicer first car because I had a lovely first car. I absolutely loved it. And we owned it. It wasn't on payments. It was like mine. And I used to drive with my friends in it. And I absolutely loved that car. So it's very easy to go, oh, but I didn't get what you got. That's not life. So I think, like you said, controlling what you can control. It doesn't sound that he's the favourite from what you've said. What it sounds like is he is getting more financial support. That's not favouritism. If it's in the way they're speaking, the way they're treating, the way they're inviting him to things or not you, that is to be addressed, and that's not fair. Mm-hmm. But I think being more proud actually of how he probably looks at you and goes, God, I wish I was as
she's got a
organised
shit together.
as her. Like, I wish I could be like her.
Take it as a compliment.
Definitely.
Take it as a win.
The journey
let's turn this
is yours to go through.
Let's flip it on its head and see it as a positive.
Definitely.
Well done.
Yeah.
Any final words?
I'm going to go back through my life and look at what Holly got versus
Add it
me.
all up and invoice parents.
And then I'm going to, Trisha will listen and then she'll even it up if she thinks, but it'll probably backfire on me and I'll have had way more than she's had. And I'll be like, oh my God.
Actually, scrap that.
Get you a voucher for Claire's for another piercing.
I was about to say, next episode, I'm going to show you my belly button piercing.
You go to a tattoo.
Dangly chain. It's giving danger.
I'm going to get it.
Parlour.
No, don't get
Tattoo
it.
parlour. How old were you?
Laura's probably 25 and I was probably 12.
No, I would say probably 14 or 15
Oh, that's
because
quite
it was
young.
athletics. So it would have been high
Yeah.
school. And it
So
would
I
have
was
been
probably 10.
she's a toddler. Like,
Irresponsible parents.
toddler wandering around with a belly button dangly chain.
It's shouting to me, getting trapped on something and ripping out. Like,
Yeah.
it's just dangerous.
Like a
and
zip.
unnecessary. Yeah.
Ooh.
Gives me the ick. It's really
You
annoying.
used to have to twist it. Anyway, on that note, vault's now closed. What do we say? Let's get out of here quick.
I'm going to bring the presentation next week.
I'm going to get my belly
still
out
got
next
it.
week. You're not seeing it.
That's all for this episode. The Vault is now closed. Just a quick disclaimer, The Vault is just a chat around life and money topics, and we are not giving financial advice.